What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Bloodgrounds. Those of you that have been around the channel for a little while probably know that I'm an enormous fan of anything Gladiator related. It's one of those things where I've watched all the documentaries, I've read books. It's just like a little interest that I have, is the entire idea of the spectacle of Rome and the Colosseum. Bloodgrounds does not take place in Rome. This is actually a fantasy game where you can fight against all kinds of minotaurs and constructs and everything else, giving it a little bit more of a bent like Gladius, I guess. But since Gladius is a much beloved title on the PlayStation 2, I think that actually really works out for this game. I think that Bloodgrounds has a lot of great ideas. I don't really have any complaints about it as of right now, and for the next 30 minutes we're going to play the game and figure out if it deserves a spot inside your wish list or library. Along the way, I'll be doing my best to give you my first impressions of the game, but if after watching this you wanted to get the title for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. You can check that out there. This game is very cheap. It's only $15, and frankly, with all the great ideas they have folded into this one, I feel like it's a big winner. But that link is down there. You can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links just in case you wanted to give them the old spicy click. But let's go ahead and dive on in. I've played the game for a couple of hours just to set up so that we have some characters that are a little bit more advanced and have a little bit more stuff to play around with so that you can see the customization of the game. But welcome to my villa. This is going to be what happens in between every single Gladiator match. You are a nobleman that's disgraced, that has gone back home in order to rebuild this entire area and restore the glory of your family via taking up the mantle of being a dominus, a guy that trains gladiators and then sells them to arenas in order to earn money. For right now, I only have level 1 of just about everything. I'm about 2 hours into the game at the moment, and I'm guessing that there's like a storyline hardlock on leveling up your stuff to the next tier. But for now, I'll introduce you to my cast of characters. This game does have a wide selection of character classes and also an enormous amount of customization due to the fact that it has a very similar loot system to a game like Diablo. And so all of the gear in this game has random affixes on it. It will accentuate your characters in different directions and allow you to customize them towards their strengths while trying to minimize their weaknesses. When you go into combat, it is going to be grid-based and turn-based, but for right now we've got Antonius. He is our resident wizard. This guy is all about throwing fireballs, blowing up the enemy en masse, and being uber squishy. We have Gaius. Gaius over here is a Retriarius, which is a spearman with a giant shield. In this game, he's a tank, so he's got lots of taunts and abilities that restore his armor and make him the bastion upon which the enemy breaks and can't get around to the rest of your units. We've got Pyrrhus. Pyrrhus is a priest. Pyrrhus can heal people on the battlefield, which is actually a really, really useful ability in this game because every tournament in this game is back-to-back-to-back-to-back fights with no restoration. So having a healer, they tend to suck in combat, but it does give you some sustain on your other guys should you end up taking a few crits or more damage than you would like to. I've got Lavinia. She is the guild champion. Lavinia is a two-handed warrior that is all about crushing skulls and wiping fools out. Unfortunately, you're not going to get to see her in her full glory because she got whooped last fight. Like, she took a little bit too much damage, and so right now she's in the infirmary recuperating and trying to get back up on the horse. However, I couldn't have won the fight without her, and so it was a sacrifice that has been recognized by the rest of the Ludus. We've got Eustace over here. Eustace is one of my hunters. Eustace is all about booby traps and all about blowing the enemy up with grenades. And then I've got another archer over here of a completely different class that's all about summons and bringing spirits onto the battlefield that give different buffs and bonuses and also act as booby traps as I go throughout my fights. And this is not I haven't gotten every single class yet. There are many more classes that you have not seen here. Right now, Xanth is actually ready for a level up, so we'll go ahead and click on her. Whenever you level up a character, they get a choice of just a base increase into their various tactical attributes. So it can be HP, it can be damage, it can be evade, it can be block, it can be armor, it can be movement points, action points. Just kind of depends what comes up. You can re-roll it for a nominal fee, but I'm going to give her evade because she's almost at 20% evasion right now, and she's starting to get to the point where she becomes kind of a headache for the enemy if she doesn't get hit. I do need to clack these guys out. I do have a market inside of my town that will allow me to buy new equipment for people that may or may not have it, and so I'm just going to re-roll a couple times and see what comes up. We've got a Staff of Fallacy, over here. Okay, a stealth arbalest. I already have one of those. A soldier's asta would be nice, but I think I need shoes for just about everybody. So I'm going to buy a little bit of shoe action right there. And then I'm going to equip everybody up, and then we'll go into a fight, and we'll start out with something easy because the rest of my team are not nearly as good as Lavinia. And so they kind of need to cut their teeth on something simpler. After that, when Lavinia comes back, we'll actually throw ourselves into a real arena fight, and we'll see how the video goes. All right, we're all clacked up, so let's go ahead and throw them into a fight. Do I want to view the tutorial, sir? I'm 2 hours into the game. I think we're past that right now. Let's go ahead and take an easy challenge for right now because this team right here is not the best or most well-rounded team. They're like, okay, you do get to bring consumables with you, and these consumables in general do not cost any action points in battle, meaning that you can like spam health potions on yourself, Diablo style, if you really, really need to. It does give you a little bit of wiggle room, but going into our first battle, it looks like we're up against an enemy team that's got a Brutus on the right. It looks like they have an Agilis on the left, and it looks like they have a Flamen in the back. So basically, rogue, mage, and warrior that we're going up against right now. Every single battlefield is procedurally generated. There are little booby traps and things around. The enemy's a little bit too smart, though, to ever let you really capitalize on the traps, but the game does give you a lot of, like, for the warp style abilities that move enemies around, and I think that if you're clever or creative enough with them, it should work out. I wanted to play Aegis on myself, but like, oh, I already used up an action point breaking the crate. One thing that I very much like about this game, ooh, these guys actually hid themselves pretty well. What does her flame summon do? Damage a single enemy target within range. How long is the range on it? Like close? Okay, so I gotta be a little bit closer on up. We will cut over this way. There's no diagonals inside this game, in case you were wondering, but the game is absolutely littered with items and things that will make your life a little bit, oh my god, the movement on this guy. He needs to get like a movement point level up super bad. Having anything less than 3 movement points is always kind of a gargantuan failure. Flamin comes out, and it looks like he threw a little bit of damage on me. The good news here is that Gaius has himself a lot of armor on account of being a tank, so it shouldn't really matter altogether that much. I'm going to move him up on the Flamen, and we are going to go ahead and net him right there to get a bleed on him, and then we're just going to shiv him up a little bit while we wait. Oh, you know, I thought that his net cost 1 AP, but I guess it costs 2. Never mind. Well, he's netted up for right now. I don't know exactly how I want to deal with this guy. I'll probably put the wizard in front of him maybe just to make this work out a little bit better. But let's go ahead and fire some arrows off in that direction. We did catch a lucky crit right there, which is nice. And auto attacks in this game, they do have chances to apply statuses. So if you're using blunt weapons, you'll have a chance to stun them. If you're using piercing weapons, you have a chance to poison. If you're using bladed weapons, you'll have yourself a nice spicy chance in order to make the enemy bleed and get stacks of those bleeds. And so it's really up to you what you want to do. He can't get him from right there, unfortunately. I'm going to need to draw this guy in a little bit closer. The good news is that he lit the Brutus on fire, so that's really, really nice. We've got Corellia over there. Okay. The guys that have names tend to be a little bit tougher, but what you should really be worried about in this game, oh yeah, fire spreads. So if you light an enemy on fire and then they hit you, solid chance you're going to get lit on fire too, and unfortunately, he just does not have the evasion to make that work for him. Let's go ahead and we will just stab this guy up real quick to put some damage on the board. But as I was saying, the game is absolutely littered with items, so like every crate and every barrel that you end up destroying drops all kinds of pickups on the ground that act as power-ups. Those power-ups are actually fairly important as you get further on into the game. Everything from gold to XP to all kinds of goodies you can get inside of there. Light him on fire. There you go. That's the stuff that I'm talking about. The crowd, very, very well animated in this game. I actually like how lively and just how smooth the crowd looks. That right there will give him 3 movement points, which will be nice. Let's put a little bit of magic on this guy. So I can't get him from right there, but I can get him from right here. So 20 damage right there and lit him on fire. That's going to give him 3 more movement points to allow him to fall back because our wizard probably doesn't want to fight a rogue. Rogues tend to eat wizards for breakfast in this game, and I would rather not have anybody having themselves like a satisfying morning meal if I can help it. All damage in this game is carried in between fights, so that's another thing you're going to want to keep in mind. I'm going to come back over here, and I'm just going to help out on this side because I don't want that guy to run down my wizard. The downside to that is that now, maybe I shouldn't have moved there. Now my wizard doesn't really have a way to access the fight, which kind of sucks. This guy's almost dead, so I'm just gonna rock up on him. I'm gonna put the pistola to the side of his head, and we're just gonna put him down, brother. Oh, never mind. He's going to live through it and not care about it at all. These guys actually have exceptionally high armor. I'm kind of surprised by how high these guys' armor are. That's what's being denoted by the little shield that's next to their health bar, is how much they flat mitigate whenever they get smacked. And I've actually noticed we're not really dealing that much damage. Now, after each fight, you are going to get yourself some bonuses. Every single enemy is worth a certain amount of XP and money, and of course, the round is worth the exact same thing. You'll also get a couple of rewards when it comes to loot. The game is very, very good about constantly drip feeding you with items. I think like every tournament you do, even the easier ones, you're gonna end up getting like 3 or 4 items for your time invested, and once again, they can have like different stats on them. So every now and again, you'll fish out something that looks interesting. For our next fight, let's just send it real quick because that guy right there is kind of a problem. Okay. Yeah, I'm not hugely in love with the fact that they've got a Fulgur on the battlefield, so like, we got a lot of traps on our side too. The game is very, very unfair about its procedural generation, at least in my experience of the last 2 hours. The vast majority of maps to me seem to be a bunch of booby traps on my side that stop me from moving, and them just having like a clear field and consumables on their side might be something that needs to be looked at, but ultimately it doesn't detract from the enjoyment of the game. Are you going to be able to get out of there if I put you up here? Because this guy right here is a lightning wizard. He's going to be an enormous pain in the ass if we don't deal with him shortly. Because he does like fat AoEs that like mulch the entire field. And it will be a headache. I'm just letting you know. If I wanted to cast a heal on these guys, can I do that? Yeah, let's heal them up real quick. His water ability doesn't really heal altogether that much, but it is kind of helpful. Like, it's a little bit of scuffing gone, and so we can wipe some of the blood off of our chin. We've got another movement point pickup right there. They've got a priest on their team who just healed the Fulgur. Okay. Traps are going off. Luckily, we didn't catch any, so with any lightning spell in this game, there's a chance you're going to get stunned and lose your turn. That's why I really, really, really don't like Fulgurs. I am not a huge fan of them. I would like, so if I grab that right there, I get 3 additional movement points. So I was going to blow him up using that right there. I wonder if I can throw an entangle on it and blow him up that way. Let's find out. I cannot. I can't entangle that. So for right now, I've actually hosed myself too. All right, let's shoot you. There we go. Get a little bit of damage off. Then we'll move back over here. And we'll get him with a couple of swift shots right there. And the turn. And my wizard is still kind of just lollygagging back here. There's not a lot of safe ways for him to move forward, so I'm going to detonate that real quick and then step him back by one. That way that side of the field is all nice and cleared out, and we can actually access that spider on our next turn. Unfortunately, it means that the spider can also access us, which I'm not in love with. She did catch the stun on that turn. He also caught the stun. That's why these guys right here are incredibly dangerous. Proc chances in this game are ludicrously high. Like, they proc more times than they don't, and so unfortunately, he caught a stun right there. I thought she got stunned too. I guess not. Let's just finish this dude off because he's becoming a battlefield liability that annoys me. I'm also going to try to pick up that gold over there because my cash money cheddar stacks right now are in very, very short supply. You can start out by lighting the spider on fire if you want. That right there is going to be an extra action point, which can be good. I had a turn with my champion like, you picked up my gold, you little bastard. You're going to pay for that, dude. I'm gonna send you back to your family looking like a bowl of sketty sauce, dude. You're gonna be all wide-eyed and stupid looking by the time you get home to your family, brother. It's gonna be a big closed casket type situation. All right, move him out of the way. I don't care about the attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunity in this game, they don't strike with the same damage as a normal attack, and so I tend to just not worry about them and not care. So for example, I have a character that does like 30 damage a swing, my champion, but if the enemy is adjacent and they try to walk away for whatever reason, when she does her auto attack, like her free attack of opportunity, she only does like 4 damage. And so I learned very, very quickly that attacks of opportunity don't matter in this game, just like ignore them. We did get a rest period right here where I could heal everybody up. We've got like a medium battle next. I guess I'll heal him, because I'm going to have to do it when I get back to town anyways. And so if we can clear this without taking any further damage... Man, we got all kinds of crap on our... Oh, my God. Okay. What I would like to do here is... Realistically, we kind of want to pull the enemy back into a bad situation. Yeah, like, we want them to be... He's going to AoE me. Okay. Oh, she dodged it. Nice, dude. 20% dodge. Came back for the win. I can't hit that just yet. I would like to hit that and blow him up, but I guess we're just going to have to do some basic auto attacks over here. The good news is the guy is completely and totally bucket naked as far as attributes and stats go, so he doesn't really have anything to throw at us right now. I'll move you over to there. I'm going to detonate that right this second because the chain reaction will get him, and at least it's some damage that I can deal before this situation gets any more out of hand. Oh, they are replenishing caltrips. All right. We've got a stake over there. The stake will increase our damage, I think, by 1. And they... Ooh, there's a gold golem over here, too. I got to go for the gold golem, man. I got to do it. The gold golem, he's a treasure goblin. He drops gold all over the place, and we want that gold because I am very, very poor. Unfortunately, all of the gold landed on the caltrips, so we're going to have to... I'm going to use this as a trap. I picked up the gold that I could access right there, but we're going to hope that the enemy's greed makes them walk across a bunch of traps to go get it. And if that's the way that it plays out, this will be just beautiful. One down right there, and then over on this side, I don't know that I want to subject her to the full force of... Oh, there was a caltrip right there. I didn't realize there was a caltrip right there. Okay, we'll grab that other gold bag right there, and then we'll put a little bit of damage on that spider. I don't want to lose 5% of my HP over and over and over and over again. I would prefer to avoid that, but were I to use that, will it hit anything? It'll hit my own guy, but it'll hit both of his. Just do it. Like, my guy has armor still remaining, and so it's a decent gain on damage versus what the enemy's planning on doing to us. All the caltrips disappeared, so I may eat a bunch of attacks of opportunity to try to grab it all. I think. I don't know. I haven't decided just yet. I'm sabotaging my overall gameplay strategy at the moment in order to get paid. We're going to move back over to here. I'm just going to take that attack of opportunity, grab that gold right there. Okay. Gold is in short supply in this game. Like, you do get paid, and thus far it has not been difficult for me to get all the things that I wanted, but I could always use a little bit more. Like, a little bit more cash is always a good idea. And if I can move you out to there. Oh, he dodged it. I also clicked on the wrong one. Finish him off. There we go. Spider's down, so we don't have to worry about that any further. Love the graphical stylings of this game, by the way, and it's very, very apparent that they've spent a lot of time just making this game visually charming, which is fantastic because a lot of Gladiator games out there are just kind of cold, soulless auto battle fare, and so I'm glad that they actually went all in and made a Gladiator-style game that people could get out there and enjoy. Like, it's so rare nowadays that we end up getting ourselves anything that even resembles a Gladiator game that anytime one of them comes around, I gotta dive on into it, man. So we got 760 gold for that, 408 experience split in between my characters. We got no devotion. Later on in the game, you can pick a god to dedicate your victories to, but I'm not at that point yet. I just remember that from when they had a demo during like a Next Fest or something of that caliber. So back in town, we've got ourselves a event. Patronus, the city guards have arrested a citizen conducting forbidden rituals in his basement in Maravento. Now the question is what to do with the makeshift altar. Should it be destroyed or could we find a use for it? I'm no expert in these matters, and frankly I'd rather not meddle with the arcane. One thing that I found is that in general all of the events in this game are bad. I've been playing for 2 hours. I don't think that I've ever gotten a positive event. They may have had positive aspects to them, but this game kind of leans in the direction of like Darkest Dungeon, where if an event pops up after you get back from the arena, betting money is on it being something really bad, where all of the options make like different degrees of bad things happen. I do think they should add more beneficial events to the game, even if they're rare, because after 2 hours, you'd think I would have gotten at least one event that had some kind of positive outcome for my party, but nope. not at all. This one over here, we get a whole bunch of loot, but 3 of our gladiators become dismayed. What does dismayed do? Their initiative is 0, so they always act last. Okay, that could actually kind of be a good thing, but getting rid of these status effects takes an entire day. And so they're going to be out of the arena for a while, and it's randomized. We don't know exactly who's going to get that. It looks like we could send our guys over there, and all of our challenge runs have their modifiers replaced with Deadly Arena. Applies 5 stacks of random space statuses on up to 10 empty spaces every 5 turns. I don't think we have a choice. I think we got to go for that right there. Like, I'm not happy about it because I just cleared a whole bunch of status effects off of everybody. But I guess it kind of is what it is. We don't really have a choice. On the plus side, we got a bunch of loot that I can sell off because the consumables in this game are actually really, really valuable for whatever reason. And so, frankly, in a lot of ways, I prefer getting consumable scrolls and things like that as rewards for different events because you can vendor them for very large amounts of money, which will then allow you to kind of customize everybody and get them back into shape. Since I don't actually have enough guys to send into combat on this next phase, I'm gonna have to leave everybody back here to recuperate. I gotta hire some people. So I'm gonna hire another Secutor because I've been very impressed with my Secutor so far. I will more than likely actually pick up, what is that right there? Rope them in? Keep re-rolling them real fast. I don't want another Retiarius. Another Achilles would work though, I think. I don't think an Achilles can survive at level 1 through the medium challenge we're about to do though. Either way, I'll hire the Achilles, and I'm going to park the Achilles inside of our training facility so that the Achilles can level up a little bit and actually catch up with everybody else. And so, Achilles, begin your training. He'll be leveled up in like 3 or 4 fights, or when I take some easy feeder fights to just give him. In the case of everybody else, we need to go to the infirmary, and we need to start getting people to rest inside the infirmary. Unfortunately, you guys may not get to meet Lavinia here. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We're bringing Lavinia even though she has 0 initiative. I'm fine with it. We only have 1 space for people to rest inside of here, so it's going to take quite a long time for us to get these status effects off of everybody. It sort of is what it is. I would like to get a button for all this because you've got to go in between all of your characters and individually heal them one by one. I would like a button over here that does like heal all and a button over here that cures all. That would be very much appreciated. I would like that tremendously. You can also build up your city inside of here, just in case you wanted to. I've got everything built already, so not really that big of a deal. There's also weaponized achievements in this game. As you accomplish those achievements, you will get bonuses. So we just got 500 gold and a bunch of rare weapons and equipment, which is nice. What did we get? They're the ones with the green backgrounds. We actually got some really nice boots. We got a very nice pilum over here as well, a ranged one-handed weapon, which will be good. And then what else did we scoop? Not sure what else I got, but I need to put my battle force together. So Lavinia, you are in. You are welcome inside this party. He's got a level up ready to go. Let's see what he got. So he can get his block up to 5, which would be good. 5 damage mitigation is pretty solid for a tank class. I'll take that. I think I got movement on his last level up. Does anybody else have a level up ready to go? Elianus does. Elianus, I don't like any of those. I'm going to re-roll them. We can get +1 damage right there, which I think isn't bad. Crit chance would also be good. A 13% crit chance. That's a solid amount of crit right there. I don't know if I'm going to bring him on this fight because I don't really have anything to tack him out with, but it would be nice to have him. You put on the new boots for the tank because those have 6 armor, extra crit damage, healing received on them, so pretty solid tank boots right there. He doesn't have a helmet. Can I get a helmet? Ooh, an epic Parma. It's 1,100 bucks. It's not what I came for, but like, I'm gonna buy it because rare stuff never comes up inside the lottery over here. Reroll it one more time. There is a nice little helmet for him that we can equip. And of course, all equipment is shown on your characters in this game, which is very, very satisfying. I like that a lot. We're going to go ahead and sell off all of our random boo over here. I'm going to hold on to some of the other stuff just in case I end up needing it. I don't have anybody that can use the pilum, I don't think. Actually, he can, so we'll give him the pilum, and then we'll give him an offhand shield, I suppose. Make him a little bit more of a tanky range guy. What's the range on that right there? Is it the same as the bow? No, it's actually considerably shorter than the bow. Okay, but it has a chance to slow him, which might be nice. Who do I want to bring on this little excursion out into the realm of death? I guess I'll just bring my 3 best equipped guys. I don't think I really have any other option. This guy's frail right now. He gets double the amount of negative statuses. It's going to be a little bit dubious, but we'll do the best we can. Let's hit up a medium challenge real fast, and most everybody is all healed up. Let's begin the challenge, but we're going to be acting last every single time because we have terrible initiative this time around. So let's get ready to send them on in. And as you can see, these guys are equipped quite a bit better than the last team that we took in. We were only up against 2 guys this time around, which should make this a little bit more simple of an affair. I'm going to move him up to there. What just happened? I don't know what he just took damage from. Took damage from something, but I'm not exactly sure what. Was there a trap right there? I didn't see a trap right there. Do I have a combat log? It says that nausea dealt damage to him. He doesn't have nausea, though, as a status effect. Interesting. Okay, well, if he's going to be ticking down a couple HP per turn, we're just going to have to work around that. Let's send in the champ. The champ is this lady right here. She likes to get down. Is the nausea just on the battlefield? It must be like a battlefield status effect. Go ahead and get the Brutus real quick. There you go. Just soften him up nice and good. And then over here, we'll move her to right here. Finish him off. Okay, he's now down. And then, if I can, is that only in a straight line? I think that's only in a straight line. Let's just continue advancing on the enemy real quick, and then we'll let this guy take their turn. I don't know exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to throw a knife at my face, the old classic. However, I'm going to get pistol whipped by everybody that they just walked by, so that's good. Just pass his turn, don't worry about it. He's not going to be able to close the gap anyways. And down goes the enemy with a 30 damage crit on the back end. On top of that, she's got a perk. Everybody in this game has Darkest Dungeon style perks that make different things happen in combat. She gets a ton of armor whenever she kills somebody. And so, nice to have. Nice little boon. I got a knee collector over here. When they step on it, they're damaged for 20% of their max health. Sure. Throw that into the stack. We got 4 enemies this time around and lightning traps everywhere. All right. We are going to have to come to terms with the layout of this battlefield. Break that crate open, see if there's anything good inside of it. There is. There's a stack of armor inside of there. I like stack of armor. I will take stack of armor. Enemy's going to walk across. What does that do right there? The unit has a 20% chance to get stunned when they walk across that tile. Okay, that's fine. It's a little bit of a gamble, but I think we can make it work. Oh, God. Okay, electricity everywhere. However, the electricity over here cleared just in time so that I could bring her up. All of your characters, I know I've been auto-attacking a lot, but all of your characters do have special abilities. It's just that they're all kind of like situational, and so I don't want to deploy them if I don't have a play. Move over to here. Throw some fire on that spider. Okay. Go ahead and fire right there, and then I think just hang tight. It'll be fine. A spider got hit by the trap, which is nice. Normally, the AI plays pretty smartly in this game and doesn't get killed by traps in my experience, but they took the damage right there, which is good. Finish that Brutus off, move forward with your APs, and continue slaughtering. What is that status effect that he just got right there? Invincibility. Oh, he must have stepped on a consumable that gave it to him. Nice, dude. Apparently it doesn't work against dots and status effects, but at least it's something. If you can finish this guy off before the end of the fight, that'd be magnificent. Nope. Didn't get lucky with it. Just take the 5 armor hit right there. Your armor gets replenished at the end of the fight anyways. It's one of the few things that comes back as time goes along. And so, there we go. Final enemy. Got your head blown off with a crossbow. Must be one of those 357 crossbows. Okay, next up we've got recuperation, which actually, strangely enough, we don't really need on this run. I guess I'll heal him a little bit, but everybody else is looking pretty okay. Like, I think they'll be all right. Does this battlefield have modifiers? No modifiers on this battlefield, which is good. I could move him to right there and break that crate, but let's go unified front over here and let the enemy come to us because I've never seen this enemy mob before and I don't know what she does. There are rare mobs, Diablo style, that can show up on the battlefield with you. They will have sort of cryptic names like the Enraged Retiarius or something like that. Keep an eye out for them. I'm guessing she's a rare spawn too because I have never seen her before. And so I'm going to really prioritize taking her down. Hit her with a firebolt right there. Okay, step forward, then hit her with a firebolt. If we can have fire and bleed on her, I think that would be good. And then you just step over here to safety behind the tank. You come over here. I don't think he's going to be able to finish her off for right now. But what I could do is I could cast Aegis and have him just block up and taunt the enemy, I guess. Big dodge right there. Okay, I'll take that. Miss right there, unfortunately. But the bleeds are doing their job at the moment. If I can get the spider to move into a better spot, she can AoE him down just with her auto attack, and that would be great. Okay. Kind of an interesting split we have going on right now. Go ahead and take him out. Perfect. I've been calling her the Tinkerbell of Death, man, because, you know, she's a tiny lady with a pixie cut that ultimately does way more damage than everybody else in my battle squad. Free money, huh? There are challenges and things like that, too, that you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen that will slowly accumulate as you play through your back-to-back battles, giving you, like, stat boosts, maybe extra XP, maybe extra items, maybe extra loot. Just sort of depends on the fight and what you get out of it. You go ahead and crowd this guy right here. He's a flawman. Okay, so, like, let's just mess him up real good. I probably should have netted him. He's going to try to run away. That's fine. I have plenty of armor to soak hits like that, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. She's now up, acting last, and you know what? Do Spite. You took a little bit of damage in the fight, so like a 5 damage heal would be nice on the outset. I would prefer she not go into combat with 59 HP because we haven't done our hard battle yet. But there is some variance in between how difficult... Oh, they've got the stun mob over here. Lovely. Okay, well that's going to be fun to contend with. Move up to here, see if we can fish out any buffs or anything. No buffs to be fished, unfortunately. I will have you move over to here and give armor to all allies. It's not much, but it's something. It'll at least take the edge off like anything else that happens. And I think it ticks every turn, too. And so it slowly accumulates armor. Like, we want to fight around that thing if we can manage it. One stun out right there, unfortunately on the champ, which I wish was not the case. We've got an explosive arrow out right there. Oh, no, just an AoE arrow. Okay, that's fine. Our armor's getting restored at a pretty solid clip right now. So we should be able to just sort of, like, soak all of this. She can't do anything on her turn because she's stunned. You... Let's just give him the auto attackums. We haven't really put any damage on the field yet, and so I probably should step forward and pick that up, though, before they do, trying to close the gap with me. And then we'll get back over here. I think it's whenever I move I'm taking that damage, and I don't know where that status effect is coming from. Huh. Okay. We can eat that. That's fine. You get over here... and just start putting a little bit of misery on this guy. Like, really, really punish him for coming over here to cause problems. If I had a ranged attack, I could hit that pot right there, which would be good. Okay, no stuns. I'll take that. Good. Okay, no stuns is fantastic. Ooh, you moved in range, huh? Okay. Unfortunately, destroyed my armor generation, so that's life. That's the way it goes. You move over to here, and I need this guy to be dead like yesterday. He shouldn't have any dodge, and now that we've got him off the battlefield, we should be alright. You quaff a healing potion or two real fast, because you're my champ, and I don't want you to die. Throw a trap over there, just in case. We don't know what these guys are going to do, but creating a few little impediments around that make their lives ever so slightly more difficult might be a decent idea. Move over to here, and let's focus up our fire a little bit on him. Good. Another one bites the dust. And then move over to here just to bait. I'm okay with that. Okay, movement points right there. Avoided the trap. Go ahead and tack down the archer back here. Good stuff. Hey, I'll take that. At least the trap didn't get wasted. Once we play it, it's like out of our inventory, and we no longer have that trap. So, I'll take it. That's a good turn of events. Over here. There we go, finally. That one had a stiff chin on it. We'll stop that off right there. And then, how wounded is this guy? He's got 20 HP. Should be able to finish him off right there unless he gets a magic dodge. And we concluded the audience wanted me to kill with a weapon skill, so it worked out okay. Arch Magus Focus. That's really, really nice. I'll throw that on one of my wizards. Hell yeah. Ultimately, we got 600 bucks, a little bit of XP. Nobody leveled up, unfortunately. We also got some kind of weird hat over here that looks like it increases crit chance. Maybe an archer's hat, I'm thinking. I don't know who has the highest crit chance, but I'll take it. But this right here is Bloodgrounds. I think the game is really, really awesome. Patronus, one of your fighters started a drunken brawl in my inn last night. The Gaul. Tables overturned. Mugs shattered. Customers scattered in a panic. I've had enough. All right, I'll just pay for the damage with $100, but the inn's gonna be closed for the rest of the day, so unfortunately we ain't recruiting nobody for right now. Let's go ahead and get the champ resting in the infirmary again to get rid of the status effect that's on her right there. But Bloodgrounds, my closing thoughts about Bloodgrounds are that it's a really, really good game. It cleverly has a lot of ideas from games like Gladiator, a lot of ideas from games like Dominus, a lot of ideas from games like Diablo. It mixes them together in a very, very satisfying melange. The only problem I've had is that sometimes when I out-tab the game, it crashes. That's the one major thing that stood on out. And then the other thing is that I think all of the events are entirely too negative. There should be a few more positive events inside of there, just to spruce it up from time to time. But those two things taken care of, this is a highly tactical game with a lot of really fun, interesting abilities that can be used situationally in order to act as a force multiplier for your team. If you like games that allow you to build up gladiators, customize them, and also curate their builds, this is the kind of game you'll probably have a good time with. Every class seems to have like 8 or 9 abilities from what I've seen so far. You can only assign 3 of them as of right now, but once I level up my academy a little bit further, you get more slots. And then on top of that, like, you get lots of other boons and bonuses from other areas. I've been very, very happy with this game. The 2 hours that I played it just absolutely disappeared. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. Time went very, very rapidly while I was prepping for this video. Highly recommend. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was that oh-so-rare Gladiator game that ultimately manages to be quite exceptional. I'll see you tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but it's time for me to go. Bye, folks.